Welcome back to Be Rich. It's now 12 years since the Great Recession of 2008. America has not had a recession since then, nor has the Western world. America has grown to some extent, the rest of Europe and Japan have not grown so much. China has continued to grow. What caused the Great Recession then and what are different today? I still remember 2008 when the markets used to open and shut down at 10% falls, and there were a lot of valuable stocks which I bought scooped up very cheap. I still hold most of them even today. That was the time when I could buy a lot of stocks. What caused the Great Recession was the US housing bubble. The US housing finance companies and banks thought real estate would move only in one direction, that is up. So they started extending loans based incentivized by government regulations and tax incentives to keep selling homes to people who did not need them. The interest rates were available very cheap and several innovative methods were followed. There's a time called a ninja loan. A ninja loan is no income, no job loan. Financial architects found innovative ways of slicing and dicing these various loans into packages and sell them as A-rated securities to mutual funds and pension funds. Insurance companies also bought them. So over a period of time, nobody knew which mortgage was owned by whom, and there was a great confusion. The prices of houses kept on going up. So all one had to do was get a loan, buy a house, sit on it for a couple of months and selling it. The Americans called it flipping. All such good things come to an end. When the interest rate started to climb in America, the bubble burst. And when the bubble burst, it burst badly. Lot of people made a lot of money in that. But those people were ridiculed between 2004 and 2008 because they kept warning about. If you want to know exactly what happened in that period, I suggest you read a book by Michael Lewis called The Big Short. There is also a famous Hollywood movie made on the same name. It tells you about various characters who spotted the recession, who spotted the coming burst very quickly and made billions of dollars from the fall of 2008. I suggest that you read these books. The current crisis internationally has nothing to do with this. This is a supply shock caused by an epidemic when nobody expected it. This is going to affect the supply chain from in America because most of the supplies come from China and other parts of Southeast Asia. That was a supply chain shock. Now that the disease has spread to Western Europe and America, there is also going to be a demand shock. So we are going to have a demand and supply shock at the same time. This cannot be resolved by easing monetary policy, though it may help in the short term. We have to wait for the virus to die out by itself. The global growth may suffer. Coming back to India, India is already running a big crisis for the last 3 years. Indian stocks have been in a bear market for 2 years, though I am unpopular for saying that. Except the Nifty and some 27 stocks, including those some in the Nifty, most of the stocks are in bear territory. Most of our portfolios are down 20 to 25%. Our earnings have not kept up with the kind of prices our stock markets have been giving. While this is true, between 2008 and 2020, India's growth in stock market or returns in stock market in dollar terms is practically zero. That means in dollar terms, we have not delivered any return from 2008 till date. Last year, the Indian stock market went nowhere, whereas global markets did extraordinarily well. Even a market like Turkey, with all its problems, beat the Indian market in dollar returns. India's problems are plenty. We have a triple balance sheet problem. We have a problem with our shadow banks, which started with ILFS, went to DHFL and reached its crescendo with Altico Capital. that is yet to be resolved. We also have a problem with our banking sector, with Yes Bank collapsing and another couple of banks precariously placed. We also have a corporate debt problem. The kind of bankruptcies you have seen in the last 2 years has never been seen together in the last 70 years. I can give you a list of at least 10 big billionaires who have gone bust. 10 billionaires going bust at the same time is a rarity, and it has happened in India, and it shows you how much pain there is in the Indian market. If the billionaires reach the newspapers, there are millions of small and medium scale businessmen who are bankrupt, whose names are not coming on the newspapers. There is enormous pain in India's markets due to the squeeze due to the squeeze in credit. India's credit markets have to be opened up for this problem to be solved. The government owns 67% of the banks. Unless the government releases its holds and allows open transfer of credit, problem is not going to get sorted out anytime soon. Also, the government, in its greed for more taxes, is not transferring GST input credit on time to the small and medium scale entrepreneur. This is resulting in already credit starved small entrepreneur having to finance the government for 2 or 3 months for its taxes. For when I raise my bill, I pay GST. If my big creditor pays after 6 months, then for 6 months for GST, I am financing the government. Unless these core structural issues are addressed, India's problem is not going to be sorted out. And also, India's housing prices boomed and peaked in the first decade of the 2000s. It peaked out in 2010, but has not corrected substantially. Most of India's loans are backed by real estate. As the value of real estate cracks, the value of the doubtful loans increases, putting pressure on the banking system. Under so much pressure, the threat of virus attack coming to Indian shores and the Indian government not being prepared adds oil to a raging fire, making things very scary. I hope that our policymakers respond with alacrity and handle the coming crisis. Thank you. Thank you for watching Be Rich. If you like this video, kindly subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification. Kindly share this video with your friends and relatives if you like them. I have 2 announcements to make. If you like a copy of my books, send a mail or a message to berich@gmail.com, or you could send a WhatsApp message to the WhatsApp number given below. If you would like to contact me, please send a mail to berich@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for watching Be Rich.